Today's guest is Glenda Dowling. Glenda is a holistic practitioner working with kinesiology, spinal energetics, breathwork, and nutritional therapy that speaks to the intelligence of the human body and spirit. But more than her modalities, it's her lived experience that makes her work powerful. After being diagnosed with Crohn's disease in her late 20s and refusing conventional treatment, Glenda took the natural healing path that has transformed every part of her life, from her gut health to her nervous system, from her career in corporate finance to the deeply intuitive work she does today. In this episode, we talk about the emotional roots of illness, the power of energetic healing, motherhood, relationships, and the courage it takes to come back to your true self. This conversation is packed with wisdom, and I'm very happy to share her voice with you today. Glenda, pleasure to have you today.
Thanks, Ryan.
I come across you on social media, and whenever I saw your work, it's like, I definitely want to have a conversation with you.
Right.
There's just something about the work that looked very interesting. Spinal energetics?
Spinal energetics, yes, is one of the things I do, amongst other things, kinesiology and breathwork.
Where did that start for you? How did you get into that kind of work?
It started a long time ago. Just recently, I trained in the spinal energetics and the breathwork in the last 2 or 3 years. Last 5 years, kinesiology, and it stems back to probably in my late 20s. I started to get sick. I had really bad gut issues and I had a bad gut for a couple of years, and I moved to London and it progressively started to get worse and ended up going to the doctors and hospital appointments, colonoscopies, and eventually they diagnosed me with Crohn's disease, which is an inflammatory bowel disease in the large intestine. I was 28 at the time. Now I was living a pretty hectic lifestyle. I was partying and I was working hard and all of the other things you do in your 20s. So they prescribed me medication and I didn't take it, so I didn't really get better. And a year later I had moved to Sydney and started getting really bad pains in my lower back. I was like, right, how long I'm on it? I have to do something here. Or I knew I was going to be really sick. More scans and everything turned out I had arthritis in my lower back, and they prescribed me medication again, and I was like, no, not taking it. Probably my main fear of the medication was, one of the main side effects was infertility, and I was just heading into my 30s and I definitely knew I wanted to have children. Said no to medication both times, and then that's probably where my healing journey really started. I looked into nutrition. I had a friend with Crohn's disease at the time. She was on injections and I knew I didn't want to take them, Humira. She had been following a very low grain diet. She had cut out dairy and she was managing her symptoms. So I adapted that, and then I just started researching. And after a few months, I didn't have any of the Crohn's symptoms. And that's what kind of started opening my eyes to the natural health, the healing powers of it. It took me a while longer to get back to get rid of the back symptoms. I went through like a relationship breakdown at the time, so that was probably all emotional. About a year later, my back went away, my sore back went away. But yeah, that's where it started really. So after all that, I trained in nutritional therapy in Australia. I came back to Ireland in 2015, went to England and trained in the GAPS diet, which is gut and psychology protocol. That is a really deep healing protocol. I applied some of that to me and my children. Stemmed from there, then a few years later, I trained in kinesiology. That was my testing tool. So when I was doing the nutritional therapy on people, not that it was a guessing game. So I was trained to learn X, Y, and Z equal this, but I wasn't 100% sure. So I felt I needed the kinesiology to give me the answers that I was missing. And that's exactly what it did. It was absolutely amazing. That got me to a certain point for me, myself. So at the same time that all that was happening, I became a new mommy. So then my health probably deteriorated after I had children again. My hormones were upside down and my gut health wasn't at the best. My nervous system completely was whacked. I didn't know that's what it was at the time. So that threw me into more healing, deeper healing, and ultimately that's how I got into breathwork and the energy work, and that is my 360 right now at the minute. So like the physical stuff of the nutrition, the emotional and the energetic stuff is the kinesiology, the spinal energetics and the breathwork.
So it sounds like the start of it for you was the nutrition.
Started
The
with
that was like the
nutrition.
first building block.
That was like the solid grassroots stuff.
Is that the gut health, or
Mainly gut health. Mainly gut health.
so just changing your diet?
Changing your diet, like completely cutting grain. I completely cut grains out of my diet. So grains is wheat, mainly wheat, rye, spelt. So that's all your breads, pastas, biscuits, stuff like that. So my diet way back then would have looked like eggs in the morning, eggs and bacon maybe, avocado, and then for lunch soups. I didn't do the complete gut healing protocol at the very beginning. I just adapted that later on as I learnt, as I delved deeper into the actual foundations of like how do you really heal and seal your gut? How do you repair the lining of your gut wall? I got that information from the GAPS diet a few years later. So mainly proteins and fats was my diet when I started that healing journey. And that really worked. It worked really well, even without the deeper gut healing stuff. So deeper gut healing nutrition would be broths, like homemade broths made out of meat stock, like chicken and beef and like shin on the bone, and really going back to grassroots eating like 100 years ago. Fat, real butter, avocados, and non-starchy vegetables cooked really well, egg yolks, that kind of stuff.
So that's like the foundation for a good gut, is that right?
That is a foundation.
Because I wouldn't even know. Do you know, it's like I like to eat well, but I don't really know like what's really good for my gut and what's not. And I'd say a lot of people don't.
So there's two really key things to gut healing, and it's the broths, fats, and also fermented foods. So fermented foods are the foods that have really good gut bacteria. Examples of that would be kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha. You've heard of those kind of things before, yeah. So now I have all of that in my day-to-day. Even during the summer, I still make soup. I've had chicken soup for the last 2 days, for my dinner, for my lunch, and then I have kefir in the house every day as well.
So we make our own. Then the knock-on effect of, like, say, not having a healthy gut or not looking after your gut, then the side effects from you then was Crohn's disease. Is that right?
Like Crohn's disease is after a very long time. I probably had IBS for 3 or 4 years before that. What contributed to my IBS? All different things. Living life to the fullest, eating crap, drinking loads, partying loads, then taking like painkillers then for hangovers, drinking Coke, drinking Lucozade along with everything. That was my lifestyle in my early 20s. And then the ups and downs of all the emotional stuff, relationships and, and everything else that comes with it. So I believe that's what got me to bad gut. Now, it is in my family. My father had a bad gut as well. He would have suffered from ulcers and H. pylori and things like that when he was younger. So it's in the genes anyway.
It seems then that was like a cornerstone in your life.
That was my cornerstone. That's when... Now, have I lived that lifestyle and eat really healthy all the time? No, I don't. But that is my 85% when I am... It's all about balance now for me. So if I have a busy weekend and I know I'm going to be out, or if I'm on holidays or at Christmas, you're overindulging and all that stuff, I know that's my baseline, that I always have that to go back to. I can't wait to Monday morning, get my kefir into me, make my chicken soup. Chicken soup and fermented foods is my now physical go-tos for my physical health. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I like to eat healthy. I do. I mean, but I love I like to treat myself at the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, or if I'm out and about and
As
traveling or whatever.
everybody does.
For me, like that's like having a healthy balance of kind of like 5-2. Don't even know if that's the name of it, but like a 5-2
5-2
diet.
diet,
I'll eat well Monday to Friday, and then kind of
Yeah.
just eat what I want, and it allows me to, I suppose, feel somewhat sane, where I'm not like, because it can be really hard to like eat healthy all the time, you know, or like if people going on a diet, they think they need to go on a diet, but it's kind of like, it's just change your diet, you know, like just adapt a new way that I suppose you can adapt into your life, you know.
For me now, when I think of, oh, I must get back on the wagon again, I don't think, oh, I'm going to eat that amount of calories now every day. I just think I need to get back to that really wholesome, real food to keep me feeling substantial, to help me feel like really satisfied, happy that I'm being healthy and nourished. And also, I have 2 children, so I know whatever I'm eating, they're getting the same to a certain extent. I might have to blend the soup or something like that. But that keeps me on a good playing field. It's foundational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were what age at that time when that kind of changed
I
for
was
you?
28.
That's when you started to do the healing?
That's when I started to go, right, to open up my eyes, right, how long now? Like when I read up about Crohn's, or when they told me, I had a few different consultations in London. I got second opinions and things like that. So when they told me I had Crohn's disease, obviously you're going to go home then and Google the shit out of it. So I was like, there's no cure for it. It's a chronic disease. You'll just be able to help yourself with medication for the rest of your life. And I was like, that just did not sit with me. I was like, there has to be, the human body just repairs itself all the time. So there has to be playing factors. Now, in my lack of knowledge at the time, I didn't think emotional stuff would be playing a role in it. I probably put it down to my lifestyle. I was out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, living in London, having the time of my life. So I probably put it down to that mostly. Delving in, now that I can look back and reflect, looking back at that time, I lost one of my best friends a couple of years before that to cancer, and then I was in a long-term relationship, and that ended around that time as well. So that definitely played a part.
Dealing with the emotional,
Definitely.
the side effects of that.
Yeah, just throwing the nervous system. So if your nervous system is anyway thrown out of that parasympathetic nervous system mode, the rest and digest, then you're either going to be in fight or flight, or you're going to be in freeze. So vibrationally, your organs aren't going to be functioning properly. So nothing's going to work properly for you. Now I know that.
Yeah. So what did that look like for you? Say when your nervous system wasn't functioning,
Like what way was I reacting?
or what way were you directing the life? Say.
Well, back then, when my nervous system was thrown, I was avoiding. So I was drinking loads, being irate, like say, even fighting with not people, but like if I got into fights with a partner, it would have been like crazy irate stuff.
What do you feel that you were avoiding at the time?
Feeling and avoiding truth, that tell myself things that I probably just didn't want to hear at the time.
What do you feel they were?
Looking back now, maybe I wasn't on my true path. I wasn't doing things that I loved. I worked in finance all my life up until just a couple of years ago, alongside the work that I'm now doing. But I was in finance, it was probably a wee bit soul destroying. That was one aspect. I wasn't doing things that made me feel nice and balanced. Not that it's a bit mean to say, I probably wasn't at the right person for me at that time, because it was, I don't like the word toxic. It wasn't toxic, but for want of a better word, we weren't good for each other at the time. So it was probably avoiding calling the shots on that.
This is your relationship, was it?
Ex-relationship,
Yeah.
past relationship prior.
So you staying in a relationship that you felt longer than you should
Well,
have?
I felt that I really, really loved that person, and part of me did love that person, but it just, we weren't evolving at the same pace, or, we weren't going with each other. We were like pulling from each other. So rather than end that, I was just avoiding it.
And how did you?
Until it eventually came to like an ultimate crunch and it had to just end because there was no way forward.
And did you have to bring yourself to that place, or?
I brought myself to that place, after a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you feel?
I was losing myself.
Yeah.
I was losing myself. So I was either lose myself or lose him.
Mm.
So I had to lose him.
And then with that change, what changed? What else changed?
Then I got a really sore back. And just thinking about it now, I completely forgot about this. I was working in corporate finance in Vodafone in Australia at the time, and my whole function was made redundant, and that happened at the exact same time as that relationship ended. So that was huge. I really appreciate that happened because it made me more able to deal with change. So we were told just out of the blue one day, I'd worked there for 5 years and I was sponsored by that company. So they had my visa to stay in the country. So out of the blue, your whole team was called in and told our whole function's been shipped to India. A whole finance function. So then over that year, the year that I had the sore back, we had to hand our function. So it was either stay, get a redundancy and hand the function over, or leave and get another job. So I decided to stay. A whole lot of people left. I decided to stay because I really liked the team, really liked my manager. She was absolutely amazing. She'd been a massive role model in my life, still to this day. So I stayed, trained on the Indian team and handed the whole function, not the whole function, well, my team over to the Indian team and felt really good about that. So, but it was really emotional because I really liked my job and I thought I was going to be in that company for a long time. I see myself progressing in the company, and so yeah, I left the company then and went into another role. And then around that same time, I met my now husband. So all that worked out really well. I had a big lump sum in the bank and then ended up doing really cool things, travelled around Australia, went to work in the mines for 2 years, met amazing people, got great experience, more finance roles. After that curveball, things settled down, flowed along for a while. Myself and Billy went out for a few years, got married, had our first baby in Australia. Absolutely amazing. Came home, got married, went back to Australia, and then moved home 11 years ago when just after our eldest was 3 months. Mommyhood then.
Yes. How's motherhood been?
Motherhood is not even been. Motherhood is it's taught me the most out of everything I've ever done or experienced in my life. It's made me stronger. It's pushed me to the edge the most.
When you say push to the edge, like, can you give me examples of times?
So I had my Jack, who is 10, and then when he was 3 months, I fell pregnant again with my second, which was absolutely amazing because I knew I wanted a second child. Probably if I had to have planned it, I probably would have waited another year. But anyway, the universe had a different plan for me. So, yeah, we were thrown in. So we just moved home from Australia. Jack was 3, pregnant again, and I had just trained in the nutritional therapy, so I really wanted to give that a go. And Billy, my husband, who is an electrician by trade, and he drove diggers all his life in Australia. He was there for 14 years. He had just trained in personal training. He'd done sports. And at that stage, we obviously then had just started fulfilling what our burning passion was, what our souls wanted to do, which was absolutely amazing. So little did we know, when becoming new parents, looking back, I probably thought, oh, this is just going to fit in and nice, easy peasy, breezy. And we both started up our own businesses, both working for ourselves. So no guaranteed income, new parents, pregnant again. So that was really, really challenging. That was a really challenging time for us both. And we tell people this openly, and we told people at the time. And we went from lifestyles of never even having to look at our bank balance. Not that we were absolutely loaded, but we were really, really comfortable. We could do anything we wanted. We could do whatever training we wanted. So that took its toll for a couple of years. But on the flip side, really rewarding, because it's like the utmost best thing to be a new parent, but it's having two at the same time was hard. So it was basically, so there's a year and 6 days between the two of them, Jack and Dean. So Irish twins, really.
Yeah.
So it was busy.
It's nice to have them at the same age, isn't it?
It
Very
really
close
was.
together, like.
Looking back now, it really was.
Yeah.
But it was
I'd
a
say
bit
tough
nuts.
at the time.
And another thing is, we couldn't have been in a better place. We moved home for a reason. My family were unreal. They were just like, I have two sisters and a brother and a mommy and daddy that are just always there we're always there for each other. So, and loads of nieces and nephews as well. So
Nice,
I had
nice.
babysitters. It was just, I had help. So I was surrounded in help. Even though the amount of help I had, it was still really hard. Your hormones be upside down. Like, they give you this message coming out of hospital, as a new mama, you should be fine within 6 weeks. That is absolute bullshit. I wasn't fine for 2 years. Now I know I had the two of them together, but as in balanced wise hormones, it was up and down, really and truly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that period.
When you came home trained in nutritional therapy. You done that in Australia.
Yeah.
That was the first block, the foundation you did, isn't it?
That was the first training I had in nutritional therapy and anything in the holistic side of things. Now, I had trained in Reiki before, energy healing. I've just never done it. Just for my own personal.
What did the nutritional therapy open for you? You know, when you trained in that, then what did you see that maybe you didn't see before?
It started before that, nutritional therapy. Like a few years before that, I had started a Facebook page out of nowhere, just as a motivational page, and it was called Be Your Best Self. So there was something had already started firing up inside of me that was sending me the message that I want to help people. I wanted to help people just the same way that I had helped myself, and open people's eyes to your body has its own intelligence to heal itself. And no one, because I had already experienced it, that drove me into then to wanting to train in the nutritional therapy. And then when I brought that home with me, it probably was a space for me to reflect and go, right, I've now left that finance role. I'll just use a space to go into what I really want to do, where I feel that I can be of the most benefit to myself, to my family, and to other people. That was my tool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when I came across the GAPS diet, I'd come across that a few years previous.
What's the GAPS diet?
The GAPS diet, it's called the Gut and Psychologic Protocol, right? So this woman, Dr. Natasha McBride, say 30 years ago now, she had a son who was diagnosed with severe autism, and she was a doctor of neurology at the time, and then she done a master's in nutrition just to heal her own son. So using her knowledge, her son, and other applied behaviour techniques, she healed her son. So she devised this protocol and was training people in it. And the only place that you could do the training at that time, I'm not sure about now, was Cambridge and just outside London. And then I went there. I was pregnant with my second child, went over there and trained in that. So I wanted to have the nutritional therapy, So that's at a foundational level, that's going to support people's health. But I knew I wanted to go on a wee bit deeper with the healing. I wanted to help people who were sick, who were really sick and not able to help themselves.
What do you think is the root of sickness? You know, what is the cause? 'Cause sometimes we just treat the symptom.
Me now sitting here today and going on my experience I've had in the last whatever many years working with people. People come to me one-to-one sessions and they might have a few things wrong with them. They're tired, they have a bacteria or a parasite in their gut and their energy is really low, right? That's the 3 top common things that is physically wrong with people, right? So after working with people over a period of time, we'll get rid of the infection. We'll do a wee bit of gut healing, put in a probiotic, go back to good eating if people aren't eating good, and we'll support the energy system, cellular respiration. And then they come back in a couple of months later, same symptoms, parasites are back, feeling like shit again, delving deeper and deeper. Everything will always go back to something emotional.
So, like, when you say something emotional, like what?
Different things, like in different days, it can take you to different places. So their sickness right now today might have been triggered by something that happened 6 months ago. There's something 6 months ago, and they might have been physically sick 6 months ago. But there will always be an emotional aspect that happened around the time everybody gets sick. That's going on just looking at my client list and myself. Why did that set you off 6 months ago? Because I went through that 2 years ago. Why were we thrown in at the deep end 2 years ago? Because if you keep going on and on and on, it usually stems back from like this story and belief system and pattern that started in childhood.
So, like, events from the past.
And then all the other stuff that has come down through our DNA, lineage stuff, mommies and daddies stuff.
Like stuff that has happened in the past,
DNA
passed through.
And their belief systems and conditioning and just all different things. Everybody has a unique story.
Because a lot of times people would say like, "Oh, I'm just sick," but then they would get medication or whatever, or sometimes maybe the doctor says, "Oh, you've this condition," and then they accept that condition.
Some people do.
Yeah.
Some people
but
do.
Does it have to be that way?
It doesn't have to be that way, but if that person chooses to accept that, that's their path as well. And sometimes it makes them feel happy that, a lot of the time people have been sick for a very long time and looking for answers and going to doctors and not getting the help that they need. The tablets aren't fixing them and so on and so forth. And then ultimately, after people get a diagnosis, some people be happy with that because then it lets them know that they weren't imagining all these symptoms for a long time. Say, we'll just use autoimmunes as a blanket, right? Because that's what I'm familiar with. I know I use the word the Crohn's disease and the arthritis and everything, but I never accepted them. And I would never really say, like, apparently when you're diagnosed with Crohn's disease, you have it for the rest of your life and you're in remission and then you have flare-ups and everything. So it would never come out of my mouth and say, I have Crohn's disease or I have arthritis. It's okay. That's me. It's okay for somebody else to do that. That's all right. Because I don't want my energetic body to believe that I have something that's hampering me or that I'm not able to heal from, and I'm not saying that you can heal from everything. If you give yourself the right environment and the right things and you're pulling in the right energy and the right help, and you can't do it all yourself, sometimes you need other people to help you as well, then I believe and I know that you can get yourself into a state of optimal health.
When you say like your energetic body, could you give me a deeper explanation of that?
Well, not that I believe. We are all energetic beings at the core. If we go down to our very, very core, we're beings of vibrational energy. So, you know, we have our physical body that we can touch. We have our emotional body, our emotions and our feelings and everything like that. We have our mental body, our beliefs and how we play out every day. And then we have our spiritual body, all the energy that's around us and we're living through and with, and then we have our soul. And I think it's really important. I think that's the missing link for a lot of people's issues and physical health conditions. Is as a whole human species, we have completely disconnected from who we are at source. You know, everything, like, not going to get into the whole phone thing because I'm actually addicted to my phone as well, but like, it's just phone, podcasts, books, instead of just like coming in. Now, I'm sitting here saying this right now because this is what I've been practicing for the last couple of years. 5 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to articulate that this was the piece that I was missing. So where I'm at now is, if I need to bring myself back down to benchmark again after a holiday or a big weekend or whatever, I just have to go, right, back to normal, back to my breath now, you know, going around, make my breakfast, back to my breath, how am I breathing the day, doing anything really, sitting watching TV in the evening, how am I breathing, you know, we can do all the big release work. I do events that has, you know, they're really healing events, goes in a wee bit deeper, release work, trauma release, somatic work, all really important, but the most important part is what you're doing day to day. Are you really connecting into that breath, into how you're feeling, what are you saying, what are you listening to, how are you behaving, and just like putting a wee check on ourselves all the time. That's how I function.
Mm-hmm.
You know, having that wee chat. Why did I say that? I shouldn't have said that.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I listening to that? I should be listening to that, because that's going to feed my soul. That's going to feed me, and then it's going to feed everybody else that comes across me, all the important people in my life.
Yeah. And when you say, like, a few years ago, I think you maybe said 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So obviously we're always evolving, but what was it the last 5 years that changed for you?
So, well, like, I started to train in kinesiology, maybe not even 5 years ago.
What's kinesiology?
Kinesiology is, it's a modality. It's rooted in traditional Chinese medicine. The basis of kinesiology is it works with the energy systems in the body. It works with the Chinese meridians. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the
I'm aware that they're meridian
exist.
points, yeah.
So there's lines of energy that run and flow through your whole body that are connected to your chakra systems, connected to source energy. There are main ones, there's smaller ones, but say there's 12 or 14 main ones that run through from the top of your head down to your feet, okay? Reflexologists work on the M points in the feet. Kinesiologists work on the beginning points on the face and the around the top part of the body. These meridian lines are connected to organs and systems in your body, right? Using a technique called muscle testing, and by testing all the muscle system in the body, we as kinesiologists can tell what organs need a bit of energy. So when we test, we're testing for the energy flow in the meridians that will be in effect annoying the energy system in different organs and your different systems. So when we muscle test, if the energy flow is out, then we work to see how we're going to get that energy flow back into balance. What puts that energy flow back into balance? Different things like nutrition, food, proper food, supporting different pathways in the body, like your liver, methylation, the gut pathway, your hormonal pathway, all the different hormone pathways, just not the sex hormones. The endocrine system and the thyroid is really important. Yeah, that's what kinesiology is. It's just getting the chi working in the body again.
Is that what I did with you yesterday?
That's what you done with me yesterday, yeah.
Yeah.
So then I would delve in a wee bit deeper. So you can ask the body anything you want really through muscle testing. You can verbally ask it. You can put the energy veils. So those little veils that I was using on you yesterday, that is everything at its simplest form, and it's kept activated in activated charcoal. So I would then ask, is the root of this a physical or a biochemical element, or is it emotional? So in some cases, for some people, the root cause of parasites in the body, for example, there would be an emotional aspect to it. So what does that mean? That means that the large intestine isn't working properly. It's of low vibration. Parasites are thriving there. They keep coming back. We keep killing them off. They keep coming back. So what's the problem? Large intestine is low energy. How do we get that low energy back into a high vibrational or high frequency?
What is like a low energy or low vibration? Like what's the cause of that?
What's the cause of it? Right. So a low vibration is literally a low frequency, right? So if you use radio frequencies, for example, and as they look visually, okay, so a lower frequency is like looks like that. It's flowing like that, heavy, low, big, wide. So a higher frequency is like, so embody how you feel at a higher frequency, you're happier. Embody how you feel at a lower frequency, you're tired, you feel like shit. So we'll use the large intestine again. So why is the large intestine at a lower frequency? Because something of a lower frequency has annoyed it, like a lower frequency emotion, like whatever, fear, guilt, shame, embarrassment, not being true to yourself, that kind of stuff.
And do them emotions, is it just that intestine, or can they affect other parts of the body?
Any part of the body. Any part of the body.
So if you're not looking after them, if you're not taking care of them parts of yourself?
So if you're not taking care of those parts of yourself, the higher vibrational stuff, if you're not meeting, if you're disconnected from joy, what brings you joy? And as human beings, as we get older, we do just naturally lose our sense of joy through one thing and another. And we're forever becoming new versions of ourselves. You know, go back to when I became a new mommy, I really had to redefine myself. So part of that was becoming a new mommy, and then I had left what I'd always known, my finance, and I really did like finance, because I liked getting solutions, love helping people. I loved the relationship piece and the finance roles. But when I left that whole finance piece, I'd been doing that since I was 18, behind. So I moved home, became a new mommy, left what I know in finance behind, and just had to start new. And it took me a while then to, I was just so busy doing all that stuff, starting off a new business, rearing my children. So I really disconnected from myself. And when you really disconnect from yourself, you disconnect from your partner, and you just become functional. You just get, like, I hear this all the time, you just had to get on with it.
When you say like disconnect from your partner,
as in, like, you just don't make time for each other. Like, before we had children, and before I'll not use before we moved home, because the moving home's not a factor. And this, like, I know there's loads of mommies and daddies out there that will resonate with this, and you're a daddy yourself. So you stop doing the things that used to make you joy, because to do the things that you enjoy, you need the time to do it as well, and you need the time to think about yourself. But yourself's not the priority when you move into that role of being a parent. And as a couple, you're not the priority anymore either. The children are. So you don't go to the cinema, or you don't go on the holidays and spend the time that you used to spend each other. You don't get lie-ons. Lie-ons are really connecting though, you know, having a lie-on a Sunday morning, being able to lie and watch a movie or on the sofa on a Friday night just didn't happen for a couple of years. Now it's back.
Yes, they're
Now
a
it's
little bit
back.
older. But how did you navigate at that time? How did you reconnect? Like,
How did we eventually then connect again?
yeah,
I suppose you reconnect to some level, and you know, you start doing some of the stuff that you used to do, and going out for dinner and things like that. And you know, a couple of years ago, we needed help. We went to couples counselling for a couple of months.
why did you feel that you needed help?
I was probably of the belief system that I could figure everything out for myself. I would have thought like we weren't getting on at a stage, or if things were irritating us or we just couldn't figure it out, I go, right, oh, we must be low in B vitamins, or must need magnesium, or this was a couple of years ago as well. So this piece probably helped me be who I am today as well. So I came to a stage then where I was like, no, I can't figure this out. We need help. We need help. It was like, we have to get help, or this might not work, and I can't fix it. Billy couldn't fix it. So we both
were
decided
trying, like,
we were both trying our best. We were doing everything that we thought. We were being healthy. We were working out, doing all the stuff that you think that you should be doing to be the best version of yourself. But we weren't being the best versions of ourselves, and we weren't being the best version of a couple we possibly could have been. Probably about 3 years ago now. So after it wasn't even a really big fight, because we were at a stage where we weren't even having big fights, because we probably just shut down. We had a fight, and it wasn't a massive fight. I was like, right. Probably part of me thought, he needs help. That's me thinking, oh, I'm not part of the problem. And I can't remember who suggested counselling going on the two of us. It was probably me. And we both decided we think that. And I had heard of a really good counsellor in Derry, and I had actually
what was her name?
referred some of my clients to her. Her name is Sarah Curran.
Okay.
Yeah, she's based in Derry. She's absolutely amazing. Now, we were in Australia at the time. A couple of years ago, we went back to Australia for a few months. 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Went back last year as well for a few months. So I contacted Sarah. I'd never met her before, but I have been referring clients to her for years. She says, yeah, no bother. So we started doing online sessions with her, and she was absolutely phenomenal. She was just like, you know, parts of ourselves that were driving each of us crazy, irritating the shit out of each other. She was able to break down why we were doing the things we were doing, what would have been the root cause of it, giving us small techniques to do each day to mitigate and to manage and navigate what we were going through at that time. Now, not coincidentally, but at the same time, without any plan, it definitely was part of our flow that needed to happen at that time. We had started to do breathwork, and we had been to 2 breathwork sessions together, group breathwork events, and that opened up both our fields at an individual level and as a couple for more healing and more awareness and more expansion, and just been really, really conscious about who we were and the consequences of our actions, and you know that you really have to think about what you say and do.
So she was able to, like, I suppose, show sides of yourselves that just couldn't see.
So when we started the counselling with Sarah, we were sitting in our bedroom in Sydney and doing everything online. So we started off 2 of us together. We just gave her background, and then maybe after a few weeks, she might have. It was just like started off really nice and gentle, and because I was afraid, just men being men, I was afraid that Billy would, after the first session, go, no, this isn't for me. If she started like delving into really deeper stuff, or stuff maybe that he didn't want to talk about or anything. But she had, well, obviously she's trained in what she does, so she had a really cool and good knack of taking us in really gently without scaring us, or, you know, it was really soft and safe. And then at different stages, she would have taken me in for one session, just me on my own, and then Billy on his own. And every week we would have had homework to do, and then report back the next week on what we were feeling, how did it go, and some of the work that we had to do. And alongside some of the work that we had to do with the somatic work and the nervous system regulation work was bringing up, and we had to process different things from our past. So it was really raw and emotional, but we had each other. We helped each other. If I was having a bad day, Billy would have helped me, and if he was having a bad day, I'd have been there for him. And we just worked through that. Really, it was really beautiful, actually.
How soon did it start to help?
Straight away.
Straight away.
Straight
For
away.
like first session, or even before the first session. Now, when you agreed to something.
Before the counselling session. Now, give Sarah credit where credit is due, but the breath work, if somebody has that functional breath, your nice, calm, relaxing breath, that's the foundation of ultimate health, right? But if you have something wrong with you and you are really, really trying, you've tried absolutely everything, and you want to see change more or less instantly, I highly recommend anybody to lie down and do a breathwork journey. Set your intention. If you want to set a specific intention, give me clarity over what I need to do with this, i.e. a relationship, a work piece, anything at all, or go in and just say to your higher self, give me what I need to do. Give me the clarity and the focus on what it is I need to release, and that breathwork session might just release it for you. You don't actually have to think about it. It's just mind blowing.
So like, I'm thinking here, what's happening is whenever you're setting intention, it's like you're telling your body, you're speaking to your body, I want to release this, and then the breath work is opening up that part of your body. It's like connecting with. Yeah.
I believe so. That's what I do, and it works for me, and it works for my clients. And
because sometimes I suppose we're always in our head, you know.
We're always in our head, and that's part of the missing piece as well. It's coming back into centre, coming back into your body. And so what does being in your head means? It just means thoughts. Are thoughts real? No, they're not. Are they energy? Yes, they are. So our body and our whole frequency and energy field believes them to be real if we're thinking that they're real. Our minds doesn't know the difference between like a thought and an actual thing that has actually happened. And then that's where the trauma isn't the thing that happened. It's how our body has stored it and perceived it. And it's all about perception. You know, so imagine all the thoughts and perceptions that you've ever had, positive or negative influence, or higher or lower vibrational frequency. That's always there in your energetic imprint. In this lifetime, and I believe in from all your soul's lifetime, but I know that's probably for another story. But
yes. The mind and body then, because like the breathwork brings you into the body.
Yeah.
When I done it with you yesterday, I could feel my body.
Yeah.
I could feel it in a way that I don't typically feel it. It kind of felt like I was vibrating. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I could really feel my legs and my arms. So I definitely felt in my body as such, you know. But like you were able to bring up like stuff that came to you, or I don't know how like, you know, which was like what stuff that came up
that
for me.
Resonated with
because
you
like I was
then when
thinking about like that about my childhood and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you were able to bring that up. Like how were you able to?
There's a few different things at play there, right? So our body gives us messages, and this is rooted in probably all different types of traditions and beliefs. So I get indicators if you are having certain movements or behaviors in different parts of your body, it gives me indicators because I've learnt those indicators of what they are. Like I have learnt that anything to do with the left-hand side of your body is to do with anything that is feminine, right? So what does that look like? That looks like your own feminine energy. So as human beings, we have feminine and masculine energy, right? The yin and the yang, okay? And they are equal importance, right? So at any given minute in time, it's best if we have an equal balance in our bodies, right? So if you are presenting to me that there's things going on the left-hand side of the body, your movement, or you're having little knee jerks, or what I would say probably a bit of trauma release from the left leg or arm, I know that that has to do with your feminine energy or your feminine lineage with your mommy, with your granny, or further on back, your ancestors. So it could be a collective thing just sent down through the whole family, or it could be a personal thing that is you specific or you and mother related. And then the exact same goes for the right hand side of the body. So your masculine energy, if you're making movement on the right hand side of your body, anything to do with your own divine masculinity, your father's side, your father relationship with you, or anything that has been passed down through that side of the family and ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is me specific. When I'm working in somebody's energetic field, I feel different things. That's for me. Do you understand what that means?
I do, yep.
Yeah. So if I'm working on somebody, like I just get a knowing. Now this is evolving. I've always had feeling. I've always had like strong feeling, and looking back now, I didn't really open myself up to it years ago, but I love people and I love relationships with people and I love helping people and I love working with people from my heart. So I would always be in tune of, like, say, even if a friend needed help or one of my clients needed help, I always would have been in tune with exactly what this person needs help with or where they need guided and guidance. But that is evolving over time. So the more work and deep work that I do on myself, the more my own intuition is opening up and I just get different messages. And if somebody's stuck in a certain place in their body, I can feel it in my own body. So it's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Weird, but cool. And I know it probably sounds weird to a whole lot of people and doesn't sound weird to a whole lot of people. So, and I suppose doing this work on myself, it allows me even to express this, because a few years ago I would have held back from being true to me. So, and there's still only some circles that I can say this openly and feel safe saying it and not feel that I will be judged or ridiculed or feel embarrassed or shamed.
I think a lot of people are, unless you can't like measure it, you
can't see it.
Yeah, you can't see it or can't measure, but yet no, like if you think about it, we're able to listen to radio, we're able to connect to the internet, Wi-Fi, which is like you can't see it, you can't feel it, but it's still energy transforming into different ways, and
it's a really cool thing to be able to do, and we all can do it. But because as a whole race, we're just so disconnected more than anything now because of technology. And I love technology. It has helped me get to where I am today. But it's all about balance, I suppose. But we can all tap into that, right? And I love playing about with it, because not that I play about with it, I use it as a testing thing for myself. So, like, say, for example, yesterday, I'm not going to delve into your private session, right? But I said certain things to you, and then the feedback that I get from my clients then is completely on par with what I was thinking and feeling for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that confirms to me this works.
Yeah.
How does it work? I haven't a clue. Quantum physics, I don't know. I don't have a science head. Like even with breath work, I try and get science because I know people are of the logical mind. To try and I used to try and prove to people all the work I'm doing. I have to prove myself, whatever. I'm not even like that, and I don't care. The way I am now, if you want help from me, I am here to help you. And if I don't resonate with you, that's 100% okay, because we're not for each other right now at this minute in time. We may be in 2 years' time. But I love the fact now that I just feel free. I just feel free to do whatever it is I am here to do. And there's nothing stopping me anymore. Not even myself.
And if you were to put that into one line, like, what is it that you feel that you're here to do now?
I feel like part of my purpose here is to help, through my own life experiences, to help people remember who they already are. And what is that? Just love and light, ultimately. Because that's what I feel when I close my eyes, and when I feel, if I go into a meditation and I'm just like in the coming up of the meditation, and it brings you into that blissful state when you're floating in space. I do a good bit of Joe Dispenza stuff, and he talks a lot about that space. What am I when I am nothing? When I am not like Glenda, and when I am not my material body? That's what I feel that I am, just like a flow of love and this beaming light.
It's not easy though for people that think that way or
I
get to
know.
that place, because like to get there there's a lot of darkness you have to
There is
face.
a lot of darkness. There's
Yeah,
a lot of
because like some people
darkness.
say, well, some people might be like, oh, well,
And
that's
it's
not me
very, very
because
emotional.
I have a lot of darkness. But
Yeah.
it's like that darkness is, I think it's there to
But
it's a compass, like.
it's not getting rid of the darkness,
Yeah.
because we have to have the yin and the yang, the darkness and the light. There can't be darkness without light, and vice versa. So it's helping people not to get rid of their darkness, or not to get rid of their pain, or not to get rid of the stories and the experiences that they have been through that has presented them with darkness in their life. It is to show them how to walk through a path and live with the darkness. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's like a lot of time people struggle. I mean, me too. It's just like, well, fuck, I'm not good enough.
Me
You know what I mean?
included.
Like, because I
Me
have all this
included.
shit.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Will I not? Like, that is because I know that's there, then that helps me when I go through darkness. And I will be going through darkness in the future. Am I going through darkness right now? Not a while off compared to other stuff that I have been through in the past. But I will be at darker times, at times. When I'm there, I will have a glimpse of that. I know that love and light is there. This is just me talking for myself right now, right? And then I will take on my team of helpers, whoever they are at the time. I might have to go back to that counsellor. I might have to call in my other kinesiology friends, my other breathwork people, my husband, my friends, my family, to remind me that there's light and love. So we're all here. Like, we're all here. And we're not, like, I know we all look as individuals, but I don't believe we're just all together. Whatever I am, you are, just at all different times. So it's like, what is it all about? I don't know what it's all about, but all I do know is we are here to help each other.
I think like it's like when you help yourself, isn't it? It's like, oh, you realize, Jesus, I've been through a lot. Like we all go through dark times, shit times, whatever. Like, but I think whenever you get to a place where you accept them dark times, that's just part of life. Because I think we think that, oh, I can't live life, or
I know, and
Um,
that's real.
but that's part of it. Like that's part of
It's
life. It's like I'm
it's
supposed to struggle to understand.
it is part of this human experience, but I think you have to. It's not something that you can be told and learn from being told. I think it's something that you physically have to and emotionally have to experience.
Yeah, When
And every single person on this planet has, to any extent, suffered darkness and love, experienced love.
yeah, it's strange. Like when I kind of come to that realization of like, oh shit, like my darkness was my compass. It was there to show me where the light is, kind of way,
Yeah.
or love is, whatever. I still experience it. I'm still challenged in life with, I would say, harder things. So it's like I thought I got to a place where it's like, oh, okay, now I'm good.
I've that sorted.
I've that sorted, exactly.
Yeah.
But I realized, no, I'm constantly faced with new challenges
Yeah.
all the time.
Aye.
That's always challenging my, I suppose, my faith, you could call it, or my understanding of who and what I am, and it's been tougher,
Yeah.
But I think like the tools that I've learned along the way is really what helps me
That's-
along.
That's
Simple
the
tools,
word.
like, yeah.
It's the learning. It's learning. I think we're throwing things, or we're gifted things, even the dark stuff, as gifts. If we only know how to like articulate what's the positive that came out of that negative. And this is a piece that I really struggle with, right? And I know I'll struggle with this in darkness myself. So say if I have a client or whoever, if it's not even a client or a really good friend, and say if they're going through the worst thing they've ever gone through in their life, right? What is that? Probably death, right? Or grief, or something along those really hard times. Grief for somebody, or grief for themselves. It's how do I give them that message? Say if you're sitting there now telling me that somebody, a loved one, is dying, right? Without for me sounding condescending, how do I say to them, right, okay, you're going through that, but find the good in life? Because that's really condescending. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get that message across?
I always feel like I can only use what works for me. So if I'm going through a really tough time,
Yeah.
I'm always asking myself, like, what is the lesson?
Aye.
What is the teaching here? What is this teaching me about myself? So that's the approach I try to take with other people.
When you're helping other
Yeah,
people.
or it's just like, I know this is tough right now, but there's a lesson here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever that lesson is.
Yeah.
Because you are right. You can't try to see the positive. Because sometimes you're just not in that space in that moment.
Yeah. It's probably a time thing as well. Just allow them to be wherever they're at that minute in time, and then there'll always be probably a right time to help them through that. Now, like, I learn loads around this piece. I am reading a lot around this piece, and I know the tools. Like, if I know the tools on what to say and what to do, whatever. But my challenge is when I'm actually in the real live event of going through or helping somebody navigate through something really difficult, it doesn't feel appropriate to apply what I'm learning and reading at the minute. But that's just something that I'm working through at the minute. Dr. John DeMartini does a lot on what I'm talking about, but then some of his teachings just don't feel appropriate for certain people that I'm helping.
It's interesting you said too, because what come up for me there is that sometimes it's better to say nothing.
It's just be.
Just
allow.
I'm here if you need me.
Aye.
And that's happened to me recently, actually. I just like, now's not the right time to talk to that person.
Yeah.
It's just actually, I hope you're okay.
Aye.
I'm here if you need me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes less is
for me,
more.
sometimes I just I am learning. This is part of my own learning. For me, I just always want to like help. What can I do to help them? Not necessarily fix them, but I just want to. Was I good enough support today, or should I say this? But that's my own stuff that I have to work on. So, yeah, it's deep and it's really special. It's really special to be there even for people when they're going through hard times.
Yeah, you're like when I went to yesterday too, I just felt really comfortable. It's not many times I meet people and I'm just able to open up straight away. Which is nice.
Thank you.
It's always refreshing just to feel safe.
Thank you.
I suppose.
I felt the same. Yeah, I knew I would. And I first came across you. I listened to a podcast of yours a few months ago, and that was the first. And I know we live really close to each other. It's the first time I ever heard your name. I know your family. One of my best friends suggested 2 months ago, oh, you should go on Ryan's podcast. I was like, I really feel that we would get on really well. And then she says to me, do you want me to message him? She must know you. And I was like, no, don't message him. If that's supposed to be, that will happen. I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah, no, well, when I seen you, as I said at the start too, it's just like, there's something resonates there,
Yeah.
because I feel like there could be more people doing the work, but I mean, as in doing the work you're doing, we're like, it's a small area, a small community up here, and
Yeah.
I always feel like, I suppose rural Ireland's always the last to be exposed to stuff.
It's really it's really surprised me because in my head, I want to help everybody. I used to think I could help everybody. I said to somebody last year, I just want to heal the fucking world. And she laughed and she says, you should use that as your tagline on your website. But I know I can't heal the world, right? Obviously. When I opened up the space for the group healing events a year and a half ago, I didn't know where that was going to go. I didn't know where it was going to go, but it was like as if I was having outer body experiences. I just have to do this. It's my calling. And I'd experienced what I knew I wanted to do in Australia, which was the group breathwork, sound bath, and spinal energetics. I had the most profound experience and a similar experience in Sydney. And I came out of that experience and I was like, this is it. This is it. I have to give this feeling to other people. So Buncrana being 7,000 or 8,000 people, I didn't expect. I thought, I might get 4 or 5. My first event was out in Dunree. The first event, that event, which could hold 15, 16 people, that sold out in 24 hours. And I had to put on another event that afternoon. I was like, what? People are actually, like, local people who know each other are willing. They probably didn't know what they were coming for. My sister landed at it and she says, what is it? Is it like a hike and yoga and all? What do you wear? And I was like, no, you have to lie down on the ground. And she lay down on the ground and she cried like a baby for the whole session. But she came out feeling free as a bird. So probably if they knew that what they were coming to, they mightn't have went. And then it just went from there. All my events have sold out in the last year and a half. It's phenomenal, really, when you think about it.
My ma's she's hoping to go one time. She couldn't go. I don't know
Right.
if you know that or not. So,
Okay.
I mean, like I'm like, Jesus, that's changed. Do you know what I mean? I think I think it takes a few to take the first step. That's okay. Maybe I won't be as weird.
Well,
you know what I mean? Because other people are doing it.
The upside of it being really local is word of mouth. There's nothing more powerful than the word of mouth.
Yeah.
And when you go into an event like that, you cannot describe it in words. There's there probably is no words to really describe how you feel. It's like feeling the most profound sadness for some people, not all the time, and feeling the highest blissful state all at the one time. Mm-hmm. That's at the end of the session, generically. Now, not everybody's experience is like that, but yeah.
I wanted to chat to you about spinal energetics.
Yeah.
So I have seen some of your videos too.
Yeah.
Can you tell me where's that started? You were the first person ever seen it. Wait.
So I think I came across spinal energetics. I don't even think spinal energetics was the first one that I came across. I think it was spinal flow, which is spinal energetics is not rooted in, but part of. And then I must have started liking the spinal energetics page a couple of years ago. So started following her. Her name's Sarah, Dr. Sarah Jane Perry, the founder. She is an Australian girl. She's from Melbourne. I just felt really connected to her work. And there'd been something in my belly wanting to do energy work for a while. I had been looking into Dawn Eden method in America, and I am Reiki trained, and I just doesn't resonate with me to use it. And I had then, in the last couple of years, I trained in IET, which is integrative energy therapy. But whatever it was about the spinal energetics, I just kept feeling, I need to learn how to do that. I need to learn it. And there was a no one in me that knew I was going to train in it someday. At that time, she had no training outside of Australia. 2 years ago, me and Billy and the boys went back to Australia for a few months and during the summer. And while I was there, I had said to Billy, I'm going to do the online spinal energetics training because it's not going to come up that I'm going to get to do them in person. And a few weeks later, it came up on her Instagram page that she had put on a new level 1 training in Melbourne at the beginning of September. Now, we were due to fly home at the end of August. And now it's costly, like it is, it's dear to do, but once you do it, it's not dear at all. So then I was thinking, how am I going to say to Billy now, oh, I need another like $5,000 to train in this. And so I said to him, and he says, like, you have to do the in-person training instead of the online and extend your tickets for a week. So that's what I done. Went to Melbourne. A good friend of mine came down with me. We had the best week. And the minute I stepped into the room, it just felt like, this is it. This is what I have, part of my reason, what I have been born to do. When you're in that room, there is, like, just going back to the no words, there is literally no words. You literally feel every bit of energy when you're working on the person. Like, my body actually moves. And I really loved that piece. It just gave me so much confirmation of everything that I've ever known in my body to go, this is the knowing that I didn't know what was has finally been confirmed. And for me, spinal energetics, like the theory behind it is she has blended Western thought with Eastern traditions. Okay, so she's blended all those so beautifully together. She is a chiropractor and a psychologist, so she has a really good grounding for the knowledge that she needed to put into her own modality. And the focus of the spinal energetics is focusing on the physical and the energetic spine to tune into the nervous system, to heal at a physical, emotional, mental and spiritual level. And that's it. So it's energetically clearing any tension in any of those areas in your life. And it does it really potently, but subtle at the same time.
And is that from you just, like, are you able to feel someone's energy?
You connect in at different access points. So there's different parts of the spine, different parts of the whole entire spine, the vertebrae, that you can connect in on. And once you're in there, yeah, you actually feel a connection. You either feel like a tension or not physically on the spine, but once you're on that, you feel the energy.
You feel it in your arms, your body?
I feel it in my body. I feel it in my gut more so than anything, and I feel it in my hands.
And then you just learn to trust that.
Now, not everybody feels and knows with different senses. Mine, for me personally, I feel it. I can actually feel things in my hands and in my physical gut.
And you just learn to trust that then, and then work with the energy of the body.
Yeah.
That the person that you're
most people that go into something like spinal energetics, they've probably already been working with the body, somatics or energy work for a while, because they've gained that trust already. And it's all about trust.
Yeah.
And it's all about intention.
Yeah.
Having pure intention.
And so you're able to go in and feel the tension, and do you talk to the person, or is it just like...
Yeah, I do talk to the person. I use sound, different types of sound, and you just guiding the person and really making them feel safe is probably the most important part, and allowing them to connect under their body with the breath. Everyone goes back to that breath. Come into the body. Well, then when they're there in that really relaxed and safe state, you can actually physically see in the spine. So the whole goal of anything really that I do and spinal energetics is to get the energy, the life force energy running through the body balanced without any tension. So getting the spine back into shape and working with the body's own intelligence and energy field. So with spinal energetics, you're not calling in any celestial energy or any universal energy. You're solely working on the energy field of that person. It's their own. I really like that too. It's really grounding for the person. Yeah.
And that's just new though. That's only discovered like not so long ago.
That is a new modality. Well, she's probably been working. It's probably been coming into her for a while, but Sarah took that out into the world in 2018, 2019, just before COVID. And I find that really interesting because Melbourne went through probably one of the toughest in the world, one of the toughest. Victoria had one of the toughest lockdowns. So I think for that area, really needed something just to go in and heal people at a stronger level than anything before, and that's exactly what it does. It works really well. It's really deep.
Yeah.
It's really, really deep.
Yeah. The movement though, I see people like at the videos, their body moves whenever you're
Once
moving.
their energy starts moving through their body again, they're just getting that flow. Now, for some people, that looks like Kundalini awakening or whatever. It's not Kundalini. It is just the normal, as it should be, energy starting to move through the spine. So you'll see maybe one person starting to move in the lower spine, and then they're still stuck here. Their whole chest isn't moving, and that is a real common thing because a lot of us and a lot of people are stuck in the heart center. So the heart center is the whole way around this area, the upper back, the lungs. The energy starts moving at the bottom of the spine, and then
but that's also moving in tandem
back
with whoever's. I've seen like when you move in your hands, someone's moving.
You are helping them. You're
Yeah.
there. You're only there as a guide. It's kind of like a dance. And like the synchronicity of dancing, you don't be standing there go, I'm going to move that way now, so you move that way. I'm going to move that way now, so you move that way. You're in flow. So intention is really, really powerful.
When you say intention, like just like give me a good definition of like what that means. Some people, I don't know, like. So I don't think we
know
take
how
it.
to put it into words. It's like I know what how my intention works. So it's like
I think intention's so important for life. Like
it really is.
Like what is your intention today? Like what is your intention with everything?
So if you have intention all the time, it mightn't come at the time that you expect it to come at, but it will come at the right time for you. But I know when you bring intention into that modality, it's you are visually looking at the flow of energy in the person, the participant or the client's body. So innately and intuitively, intuition is really we all have intuition, but it's how we're using it, and it's so special and it's so strong. So it's working with your intuition and your intention to help the person that's on the bed as well.
If I was to ask you what is your intention with this conversation, what would you say?
What is my intention with this conversation? My intention for this conversation was to allow myself just to be free to be the person that I am. It's not often you have conversations like this, unless you're in circles, retreats, and people that do the same work with you as you, and I'm blessed to have had that in like last 3 or 4 years. But yeah, you have allowed me a space, and you've given me a space to be myself, and also to allow other people to hear the message that I have to give.
I think that's powerful. It's like just to be yourselves, isn't it?
It's really important.
You know, life doesn't always.
And it's not easy. It's not
easy. It doesn't
easy.
always give us some opportunities, no.
Yeah, like sometimes I put up on a social media post, whatever, be your true self, blah, blah, blah. What is that? How do you say that to people? It's not like, do number 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to be your true self. It's like, for me, that's what I'm here to do, is like hold the space, hold the container to give people permission to be themselves, to lie down on the ground and breathe, and to let whatever needs to come in and let go of whatever needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever serves us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glenda, it's been an absolute joy, and thank you so much for coming
Thank
to chat
you so
with me
much.
today.
It was a joy, Ryan.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, it really was.
It's nice to sit down and talk to you again.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the work that you're doing, and I have no doubt that you'll have a huge impact in the community.
Hopefully I do feel that it's really helping people. Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.